So the very first week of Harry Potter Readathon is over, and I didn't read anything for that week. I thought about it. Ultimately, I think I've outread Philosopher's Stone a bit much. Like I said, I read this back in January or February, can't remember which month, and at the time I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars because that was my level of enjoyment of it. I thought it was just okay. The few times I've read The Philosopher's Stone as an adult now, I have noticed it's very simplistic in its writing. It's very much geared towards a middle grade audience, you know, kids of the same age as Harry Potter, and it's not something that I enjoy anymore. It's not something that entertains me, a simplistic writing made for middle grade. That's why I don't read a lot of middle grade. I will now and then, but it's always a very easy read and simple read. One thing I can appreciate about the series is that it evolves. You know, you grow up with Harry Potter. I first started reading the series when I was like 13, I think. 13 or 14 is when I started reading the series. So I was close to that age. But now I'm going to go into some thoughts and feelings about Philosopher's Stone because I have them, even though I didn't read it this past week. Some of my thoughts and feelings are a bit weird. It's just the thoughts of my brain, so just bear with me. So you start off the story with, you know, a window into the lives of the Dursleys, from the vantage point of Vernon Dursley, who is not very nice of a man. He's kind of stuffy, but you know, we come into this whole thing, we all know it's Dumbledore bringing baby little Harry Potter to the Dursleys to live with because, you know, his parents just died. And my thinking is, why is it Dumbledore's responsibility to hide this child away from the world? Do not the wizarding community have their own version of, like, child care, like a department for the well-being of children? Because I think Harry Potter could have used it. I know systems like foster care systems are not perfect and in real life, and sometimes they can be horrible, but you know, Dumbledore placed Harry Potter with an abusive family, and it's something that has bugged me for so long, and just left him. Didn't bother checking up on him. And if Dumbledore thinks that how his treatment is okay, I question Dumbledore's sanity. I already don't like him because of things like this. So, you know, Harry Potter grows up in this household underneath the stairs, a little tiny cupboard underneath the stairs, and curse the Dursleys for treating a child like this. Like, it's discrimination. It's horrible to treat a child like this who has done nothing, you know, is completely innocent, and except for maybe some accidental magic, but you know, kids are kids. Flash forward to some of the first times that Harry receives a Hogwarts letter. These letters are addressed to where Harry Potter is living. Like, the first letter is addressed to the cupboard under the stairs. Isn't that like a telltale sign that something's wrong? Like, is it just like a magic automated system that like something knows where the kid is and writes it that way? Or do people read the addresses that these letters are going to? Because that's alarming. Why are we addressing something to a kid underneath the stairs? It's just warning signs going off, and the people in charge are not listening, and it really bothers me. I guess I'm just seeing like alternatives to what could have happened, and nobody was taking them, I guess. So you send a whole bunch of letters that, you know, don't get a reply, or somehow you know they're not being opened, and Dumbledore sends Hagrid, of all people, to deal with everything. Like, Hagrid just goes there assuming that Harry knows that he's a wizard and stuff. And there's just such a disconnect between the wizarding world and Harry's world. And I just think that maybe someone more suitable could have been sent to, help with the Dursley situation. Just not Hagrid. I just don't know. I just don't understand why people are putting important tasks in the hands of a bumbling idiot. Sorry, Hagrid is kind of a bumbling idiot in my eyes. Jeez, I'm reading this book from the eyes of a Slytherin. I've never really done that before. Because when I first read this book, I was a hardcore Gryffindor. I thought I was going to be a Gryffindor. But now, I know I'm a Slytherin, so... Because I know the Keeper of the Keys. Keeper of Keys. It's basically like a groundskeeper. Like, it's not that important. What does he do? There's no explanation what a Keeper of Keys does. Other than does important things. Diagon Alley, getting all the things and discovering that you have money when you didn't have before, which is very tempting to want a lot of things. But you get the first glimpse of Draco Malfoy. I mean, he's still a little pretentious little shit, but he's a little different than from when he's around his friends. Like, he's still trying to impress. And he doesn't even know that this boy that he's meeting is Harry Potter, so... I have a soft spot for my Slytherins. So, dear Zia. But it's Harry's first experience of the Harry Potter world. It's Harry's first experience of the Wizarding world through the eyes of a fellow child as himself. So it's interesting that he has all these questions and he just gets shot down by Hagrid, and I would have questions like that too. I think I would have loved in the movie of the disaster of singing the school song taking place. That would have been hilarious. Very first class you get to see is the adversarial Professor Snape, which I don't understand how he became a teacher. He doesn't sound like he likes children or that he likes teaching. Like, I don't know. I never liked Snape in the beginning. I don't know when I started liking him. I think it was the movies that made me like him more than the actual books. I know it's problematic. There are problematic things, and we'll get to that in the future. I don't know. My thoughts and feelings could change. But, your very first experience of potion classes with the teacher that you think hates you. But no, he doesn't hate you. He's your teacher. The rest of the book goes through, discovering that there's the three-headed dog in the castle, discovering who Nicholas Flamel is, because, Hagrid is a bumbling idiot and likes to reveal things when he shouldn't. You have this whole adventure of something important happening, and in the end, it's the children who solve it, and in my adult brain, that's something that's just not entirely believable. Where are all the grown-ups in this? Like, why is it in the hands of an 11-year-old to stop this thing from happening, It's almost like Dumbledore's grooming Harry to do these things. Like, he knows he's gonna go through danger in life, and, he's gotta start early. You gotta start saving the world at an early age. The whole climax of the story is Dumbledore goes away from the castle, or I think I might have gotten that wrong, but it's instead of going to a teacher and explaining why they know the things they know, they think it's best for themselves, the trio, to go and stop Professor Quirrell or Professor Snape, whoever they're thinking it is at the time, to steal the Philosopher's Stone and gain immortality for Lord Voldemort. It's a big thing for tiny children. But nevertheless, it is an adventure, and an entertaining one at that. But, like I said, from the mindset of a 30-year-old woman, it's kind of unbelievable for me, and it's not as enjoyable anymore. But I appreciate the whole world for what it is. So that's my thoughts and feelings about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to start reading the Chamber of Secrets again, and go on from there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!